Well, good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Business Tip Tuesday. It is Melanie Mitro, and I am your host this week, and I'm really excited about today's topic, and I'm excited every week to talk to all of you, but today I'm just especially excited, and as you jump on, I want you just to comment below, let me know that you're here, give me a little thumbs up, send me some hearts. I'll be happy to know you guys are on. So good morning. So today we're talking about this concept of defining your success. So those of you that have been following me, you know that I have been doing this goal setting class. I have done a few webinars on it. Last night we did a vision board event, and my mission is to really help people get a smart start to 2018. And over the past 6.5 years, I really have watched people fail at setting goals. I've watched people fail at taking action. I've watched people at the end of the year be really frustrated and full of regret that they didn't take action sooner. And so today I really want to talk about this concept of defining your success, because in order to be able to move into the goal planning phase, in order to be able to make a vision board, and in order to take action, you do have to know why it is that you want to do what you are doing. So we're going to talk about this concept of, defining your success today, but it's really, and it's a bigger the bigger scope in all of this is this concept of owning your success. So, one of the things that I watch people do in this process of coming up with their definition of success is they don't actually know what success looks like to them. And this is really the first part of where we're going to start today. The first step is asking yourself a very simple question about what does success look like to me? So we work in a society where we are constantly given a benchmark, a quota, a carrot, a dangling carrot that we're supposed to be shooting for. We have sales numbers that we have to meet, a number of, people we have to bring into our organization, a number of income that we have to meet on a monthly basis. We can qualify for trips, we can qualify for events, and no matter what organization, what business structure, whether it is network marketing or you are on another business venture, right? Everything has a deadline, everything has a benchmark. And then if you even take it a step further, if you look at kids in the education system, we have in Pennsylvania what's called the PSSAs, the standardized test that really says whether or not your school district is meeting the standards for the state and whether or not you're going to get certain funding for your school based on how your kids score on a test. And so, a lot of times that provokes a lot of anxiety. A lot of kids get test anxiety and they don't perform as well and they're ranked lower. But does that make them any less of a student? Is that a future predictor of success, your current test scores? If you don't accomplish a certain rank or a certain income level, is that a predictor of your future success? No, it's actually not. And so often we get stuck in this comparison game where we are looking and we are saying, you know what, I am going to look to other people in my business that I admire that obviously are having success, and I'm going to say to myself, I'm going to define my success based on them. And I'm going to say, all right, in order to be successful, I have to stand on that stage. I have to be a presenter at events. I have to earn X amount of income. I have to have this number of rank or income or followers on my social media. And we begin to let our vision of success become clouded by what other people are doing and what other people are having success at. And so then you watch people they push all year long, and they have an accountability partner and they're working hard and they're making sacrifices and they're driving towards this goal that in their mind is what somebody told them is the definition of success. And then when the goal happens and they accomplish it, it feels very empty and it's not joy-filled and they're not excited about it. And they're like, is this what I was working for? And then they look back and they go, yeah, that title felt great for 30 seconds. Yep, walking on stage was awesome, but it doesn't make me feel fulfilled. I didn't spend any time with my family, and I sacrificed all the date nights, and I didn't get any sleep, and now I'm chronically ill, or, whatever it may be. And so we start to say to ourselves, that wasn't what my definition of success actually looked like. And so the first thing, right, if that is you, I want you to say to yourself, you do not have to measure your worth or your success based on somebody else's measurements unless that fulfills you. So you know what, like when you ask yourself the first question, ask yourself the question, like, what does your success look like? I want you to say to yourself this: what makes me happy? Is it recognition? Is it rank? Is it income? And it's okay to say that those things make you happy. But then when you say to yourself, I want to earn, and I'm going to throw a random number out there, $5,000 a month, right, by the end of 2018, then I want you to follow it up and I want you to say, why? Why do I want to earn that rank? Why is that important to me? Because then I want you to be able to say because if I earn $5,000 a month, that means I will have paid off 80% of my debt, or that means that I will be able to buy a new car, or that means I will be able to book that vacation, right? So I want you to tie it. And why is that important to you? Because it means quality time with my family if I get to go on that vacation, because quality time and personal relationships are really important to me. At the end of the year, if I can earn that money and know that I did it and still have balance with my family, that's what I want to do. And so now it allows you to say, like, okay, I'm defining my success based on things that motivate me. So when you say to yourself, I want to be, the top 0.01% of my company, I want that title, I want that bonus, I want you to say to yourself, why? Why do I want that? What about that makes me feel fulfilled? And then you got to be really honest with yourself. And you can say, because recognition is important, because standing on that stage makes me feel good, because I want to check it off the box, because it's going to give me credibility. It's going to be something I can add to the resume. I want to be able to lead my team from the front. I want them to see that I am doing this. And if I can do it, then they can do it too. So, you've got to be able to talk this out. You may, on the flip side, be a person that says, you know what, success to me is not a rank, it is not an income, but it is every single day having a personal conversation with somebody knowing that I made a difference in their life. So at the end of the day, if I don't make any money, I am going to say my success is defined by letting people know that they matter and having a great conversation. That could be yours, right? So I want you to ask yourself a very simple question. What does success look like to you and why? Great activity to do where you just sit down and you journal it out. All right, the second thing to defining your success is this. You have to forget what other people think. Here's the thing. The truth is other people's success does not matter, right? So again, I made a post about this on my other page last week. I talked about this concept of putting blinders on and really kind of getting this tunnel vision for your own goals. And the reason being is that it's really easy. It is really easy to look around and say, my success is determined by what rank I am in the company, or what the company recognizes, or how they ask people to speak or do events. And what I want you to say to yourself is, who cares what your spouse says? Who cares what your mom says? Who cares what your best friend says? Because if they are the ones that are defining your success, are they also going to be the ones that are going to pay your bills? No, they certainly are not. And so for me, it was really this concept of saying, I don't care what other people think about what I am doing. I go to bed at night. I love my job. I know that I'm making an influence. I know that I'm making a positive impact. And I'm not trying to sell people a product or a program that doesn't work. I'm not trying to get people to join my team and then scam them out of money and then throw them to the wolves and tell them to figure it out. I know that I'm doing a good job, and I know that I'm putting my business opportunity out there because I love it. It's given me great friendships. It's given me financial freedom. It has got me in the best shape of my life, right? It has given me more opportunities that I could ever imagine. And I have to share that. And I don't care if you don't like it. Let me show you where the unfollow button is, because I can't pay my bills with your opinions. And I've learned to get that thick skin. And does that mean I'm always raw and tough? No, I'm not. It hurts sometimes, but I remind myself that I can't care what other people think. And I talked about this last night on the vision board training. When my husband gave me a lot of pushback when I was setting my goals, I could have let him destroy that vision. I could have let it be okay, if my husband doesn't support me, then I guess this isn't the thing I should do. And instead I was I'll show you. I will show you that I can do this. And I set out to say to myself, success looks differently to him than it does to me. And he'll tell you to this day, Beachbody is not his thing. He supports me. He supports the business from the financial perspective, from the social aspect of maintaining relationships with some of the coaches' husbands and organizing events and doing the behind the scenes work. But being a Beachbody coach doesn't fulfill him. It fulfills me. And he's realized that our successes in life look very different and that is okay. So number 2 is drawing that sort of line, that imaginary like blinders when you log into social media, when you are doing your business, to be able to say, this is my definition of success, and do not explain yourself. Like, I don't feel like you've got to validate your reason. Don't apologize for your goal. You own it. It is what you want to do. It's your definition of success. You have to live with that at the end of the day. There's the other thing. The forget what other people think, right? I have a team member, on my team, and, I admire her ability to have like really great boundaries and to be able to say no to things that aren't in line with her priorities, right? And so at the end of the year, there was a goal that she was like, that's not important to me. That's not a measurement of my success, and at the end of the year, right, when everybody else there were some people around us that were close with achieved that goal, it was sort of this process of coming to and saying, all right, yes, it kind of stings a little bit that I didn't get that specific thing, but it really wasn't in line with my priorities, right? And so as much as I feel like I should have that, I didn't want to do what it took to get that because it didn't line up with my core values, my mission, my vision. And it was a very conscious decision to say, I am not going to let somebody else define my success. And I feel like she is like a perfect example of this like advanced leadership and this way of just being confident in her skin and being able to say like, this is my success and I'm owning it, and nobody else is going to tell me that it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters to other people. So I just, keep that in mind as you are thinking about your definition too. And it's not an excuse. That's the other part, right? So it's not a like, oh, I didn't work hard enough kind of a thing. It's just I made a conscious decision to run my business a certain way. And it's not that I'm downplaying anything. It's just this is my choice. All right. The third thing is get specific. So this is another part, and I kind of briefly touched on this, but the third thing with defining your success is getting specific. So last night on the vision board training, I talked about this concept of visualizing how you want to spend your time, creating the scene in your mind. Where do you want to be at? Who do you want to be with? How much money are you going to need to get there? So when you sit back and you close your eyes and you think about 2018, where do you want to be on December 31st? When you look back and you say, it was a successful year, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does it mean that, and I want you to be specific about it. Are you, have you booked that family vacation and you've bought that bathing suit, or you've paid off, your student loan debt, or, you've bought your Christmas presents in cash? What's it going to feel like, right? If it's getting a rewards trip, print out a picture of that rewards trip or make it the screensaver on your computer so that you can look back at 2018, and when it happens, you are going to be able to say to yourself, that's my definition of success. I'm surrounded by my family. I'm not working 10 hours a day. I've learned to manage my time, and, I've set aside pockets. I have scheduled date nights. I feel balanced. I'm doing personal development. I'm in the best shape of my life. Envision that success. For me, getting specific in my first 12 months of my business, when I said this is success to me, it was earning a trip to Disney. And I know I've talked about this a lot in various different platforms, but I went so far as to print out an image of the Magic Kingdom. I made it the screensaver of my phone. I put it on my vision board, and I would visualize earning that trip, helping 3 to 5 new people every month get started on their journey. I would visualize walking into the park with my children, the warm breeze, the palm trees swaying, my husband smiling at me, my kids laughing, the music of Disney in the background. And every morning when I would walk to where I was going to do my business for the day, I would think about that picture. I would look at the wall at my vision board. I would see the screensaver on my computer. I would say, that's what I'm working for. It doesn't matter matter how many objections. It doesn't matter how many no's. It doesn't matter if nobody likes my content that day. I'm not giving up, because that's my definition of success, and I can see it so clearly, and I believe that I can accomplish it, and that's how it's going to happen. And I would get to work, and it would drive me on a daily basis to continue to focus on the right activities. I wouldn't let it paralyze me, because I wanted to succeed more than I wanted to fail at this. And so creating those checks and balances for yourself. Where's your visual? Who are you going to be with? Do you visualize your success every morning? Do you close your eyes and see it sort of happening in front of you? Are you spending that time making that happen? All right. Then the fourth thing is ask yourself this question again. We've gone through this process. We've talked for, 15 minutes now, but ask yourself the same question again. What does success look like to you? What does it look like? Has it changed from over the past 15 minutes? Are you realizing maybe you are setting a definition of success that is very much somebody else's success, and it doesn't really fill you up? It's sort of empty, but it's just a shiny object. Are your success partners like, let's go for 2 stars? So you're like, let's go for 2 star because that sounds great. Or somebody posted a team page like, let's shoot for leadership this year. And you're like, great, I want to be a part of that because I got FOMO. So I want to go to leadership. But you don't know what it takes to get there. You don't know what the sacrifice is going to be along the way. You don't know why you want to go to leadership. It's just what everybody else is doing. So it sounds really cool. Figure out, is that success to you? Do you know what it means to actually get there and make it happen? Now, the fifth thing is exactly what I just said, making it happen. The fifth and final thing is this. Look, there's many of you that are going to let fear paralyze you. There are many of you that are going to let the start stop you. There are many of you that are letting just this very simple concept of defining your success be the end all. And you have a decision to make. You can sit here and try to make a perfect plan. You can overthink it. You can overanalyze it. You can be afraid. You can worry, but that's not going to get you anywhere. So you have to say, perfection aside, reality is the truth. What do I need to do right now to make those visions, to make my definition of success a reality? You have to set goals for yourself. You have to interview other people that have done what you want to do. How much time did you invest? What do you think were the key daily activities that you needed to do in order to reach that goal, right? What are some of the, what are some of the benchmarks? How did you measure that success at the end of every single month? And then what are the most important daily activities, my tactical activities that I can track on a tracker that I create, that it doesn't matter if it's perfect, but somewhere I can keep track of my activities. And then at the end of every month, end of every day, end of every week, you look back and you say to yourself, all right, am I on track? Am I accountable? Am I waiting for somebody else to motivate me? Or am I going out there and the definition of success I've created is the motivation, right? You don't need somebody to motivate you. That's BS. An accountability partner is there to just say, are you on track? And, are you off your priorities in check? And what do you want to accomplish this week? And how are you going to make it happen? That person's not there to say, you can do it. That person's there to just keep you on track. So who's going to keep you accountable, right? Who's going to be that sounding board? When are you going to reflect? I do it every single day. At the end of every day, I say to myself, did I do the right activities today? Did I make the post that I wanted to make? And if I didn't, for example, last night at 10 o'clock at night, I was making a post because I didn't get it done. And to me personally, I don't go to bed until the key activities are done, unless I'm going to do them first thing the next morning. And then they happen first thing the next morning. But I have that ability to self-check myself and keep myself on track. The other thing is you got to check negativity at the door. If you want to make your goals happen, you have to stop blaming other people for your lack of success. When you define your success, if you start to say, I can't do it, I don't look like her, I don't have the time that she has, you're already setting yourself up for failure. You're already getting discouraged. You're already letting things in your mind that you've identified as setbacks drag you back. So remember this. Your success is entirely up to you. It is not dependent on an upline. It is not dependent on how old your children are. It's not dependent upon whether or not you have a supportive spouse or whether or not, you already have results with the program or product that you are endorsing. It has everything to do with your ability to take action, to learn, to reflect, to take every single day and say, what did I learn from today? What failures sort of happened? How do I reflect on that? How can I slightly tweak and change, you know, my strategy, and then I try again. And it's just this ability to try again, to learn to try again, and to keep going in this circle until you accomplish the goals that you want. And it's okay if at the end of the month you look back and you say to yourself, you know what? That didn't feel good. That didn't feel right. And you really get real with yourself. Why didn't it feel right? How am I going to change it? Can I do more? Should I do less? And then you continue on. What I want each of you to do is, if you haven't defined your success, is I want you to do this activity. Because the reason that you don't accomplish the goals that you want to get is not anybody else's problem, but yours. We have to take a good look in the mirror, and we have to own that success. We have to own our daily activities. We have to own the fact that we might be wasting time, or that we're procrastinating, or you know, that we are avoiding activities that we know are going to build our business, or we're blaming our team, or we're managing instead of, you know, creating future growth. So we do really have to own that success. That is so incredibly important. So what I want each and every one of you to do is this. I want you to reflect on this today. Get out your journal and journal. I want you to highlight some key things that really pop out to you. And I want you to just get very clear on your definition of success. And it doesn't matter that it's January 16th. You're not behind the 8 ball. 2018 isn't lost. You have 11 months left in this entire year. You can make a difference, but you got to suck it up and take some ownership for the success that you want to have. And it starts with having clarity on what you want. And it takes time. It's a process, and you have to have patience, all right? Okay, so I am going to just read. I'm looking over here I can't see your comments today, so I really do apologize for that. But thank you so much for all of the wonderful comments. I really appreciate that. Perfect. So guys, if you want to go ahead and go to melaniemitro.com, make sure you subscribe to updates. If you missed that vision board party, I'm sending out the recording today. So if you're subscribed, you should get an email from me. Stay up to date on that. If you've got any questions at all for future Business Tip Tuesdays, feel free to shoot them over to me, mjmitro@gmail.com. And I'd be happy to put those into rotation. So thanks so much for tuning in today for Business Tip Tuesday. Let's go out there and make it an amazing week. All right, we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.